Okay, we're going to cover air vents. The purpose of air vents are twofold. One is to get air pockets out of the system. The second and very important part is to break vacuum when the system is shut off or when individual zones are shut off. So you'll find a lot of air vents on your system. I have 3 different kinds up here that I'm going to go over here real quickly on how they work, what the differences are, and how to service them. So first of all, we'll start with the smallest one. These 2 are what we call double-acting air vents. They're very simple devices. All they have inside is just, this one has a little ping pong ball inside of it. So as soon as water gets underneath there, it pushes that ping pong ball up. Once it's sealed, even if little pockets of air build up underneath there, it's not going to drop until the pressure drops. Then once that pressure drops, you'll break the vacuum and allow the system to drain down. We use a lot of these 1-inch and 2-inch air vents. You can check them real quickly just by popping the top off. If the valve is on and you push down on this ball, you'll get squirted with water. So sometimes just a real quick check to see if that zone is on is we'll push in on that ball and see if we get squirted. Similarly, these are the 2-inch air vents. Similar concept. It's a little flap inside there instead of a ball, but very similar as far as the way it seals and the way it operates. These 2 types here are what we call continuous acting air vents. And the difference here is as small pockets of air come into this chamber underneath here, there's a float inside. And that float, even when the system is under pressure, that float will drop, burp a little bit of air out, and then seal back up. When it does that, it usually will put out just a little bit of water. It wouldn't be uncommon to see these dripping a little bit, or when they burp, you'll hear them hiss, and you'll get a little burp of water. But these are what we call continuous acting air vents. They also work as vacuum relief, and sometimes will need servicing, because what can happen on the inside is the little float can get debris inside of it. And it will, if there's a piece of debris, it doesn't allow the float to seal the chamber off all the way. So this is the float here that you'll see go up and down, and then up inside there, I'm going to go ahead and pull this out just so you can see it. There's a rubber gasket, and that rubber gasket gets pushed up against the opening by the float when it's full. But if you get a piece of sand or straw or something inside there, this surface will not be able to seal and it'll continually leak. And all you gotta do is take that out and service it, clean it, put it back together. This type here with the little ball, all you have to do to clean those is just push the ball down. Usually that'll free whatever debris is in there, and it'll stop leaking. Those are the common air vents that we use. There's different sizes of these continuous ones. We can also get those in a 1-inch and even 1/2 inch. On some of the air vents, you'll see what's called a Schrader valve. So basically what this is, a valve stem that allows us to go around and check pressure. So on the flush end of the field especially, if we want to go around, we'll take a little tire pressure gauge with us, be able to put this on here when the system is running and find out what our pressure is. So instead of having pressure gauges all over the field you have to maintain, and they're not accurate from gauge to gauge, it's more accurate to have a single gauge that you move around the field and check with a very accurate pressure gauge. So those are the kind of air vents and vacuum relief that we use. They're sized and placed very specifically for every system. Okay, a little more detail on this, what we call the Pro Air Vent. If you have these in your field, we have had some issues where these will stick and we'll get 20 or 30 gallon a minute that'll be spraying out of here. Basically, this is the float that's inside that one, and if it sticks, there's a defect and we need to be notified of that so we can get that switched out for you to a different style. This is the float, again, just a simple up and down mechanism that can get debris in there and sometimes will need to be cleaned. Those are the different air vents you'll see on your system, a little bit about how they work and what their purpose is.